And welcome back to more Persona 4 Arena. Last episode, I'm so mad because apparently when I was talking and commentating, I didn't notice my microphone wasn't fucking recording. I thought it was. I think it was recording for like the first couple of minutes. But then, after 40 minutes, I looked and then it was nothing but dead air for like a good 35 minutes. And I'm like, oh my god. I didn't want to replay 40 minutes of gameplay either, especially if it was storytelling. So I said, fuck it. That should just be one episode with no commentary. It's not like it mattered anyway, because I wasn't really excited about Mitsuru's until the end. Until the end of when she fought Labris. But anyway, all I gotta say is when I fought Labris, her Mitsuru's DP, that shit is so broken, man. Like, I thought I was about to die that last match with Labris, but all I did was push the Fury's action button and she pretty much Shoryuken Labris out of her special attack and won the match. And I was like, oh my god, that was insane. But anyway, let's go ahead, start up story mode with Naoto Shirogane.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
And then all we gotta do after that is Labris, and I heard her story mode is just nothing but talking.
It's a case in the making.
I'll save that for a day after tomorrow. I ain't doing that today. I'll do Naoto's today.
What follows are my impressions of the organization called the Shadow Operatives, as well as their leader, Mitsuru Kirijo.
What is this, 24? All events occur in real time. My fingers fly across the keyboard. Our last case was special. I need to complete my report before I forget any important details. My name is Naoto Shirogane, and this is the longest day of my entire life. Jack Bauer! I'm a detective. The Shirogane family has been working as detectives for a generation. And I'm sorry, I just got done watching like a good whole season of Jack Bauer, like literally like 5 days ago. That's why I've been making so many Jack Bauer references in almost every game I've been playing. But it's just this she just started all sounding like Jack Bauer, dude. But anyway, though I'm young and still in high school, I have been given the opportunity to take on several cases and have built up experience as a detective. My work has earned me some trust, as every so often the police will come to me for my assistance. That's where this story begins, a sudden request from the Inaba Police Department. That was about a month ago, early April. So where are we at? Last summer, I had received a request from the prefectural police to come to the town of Inaba. A bizarre series of murders were occurring. A corpse would turn up every morning with after a foggy night. In the end, it turned out to be the most difficult case of my career. It's been about 2 weeks since that case has closed. No, from the public's viewpoint, 4 months have passed since the crimes were stopped. The culprit has been arrested and prosecuted. Peace has returned, but to return there is a depressing proposition. I'm not willing to help the police again, but my involvement with the previous case is not something I like to go through again. To be completely honest, that particular case was no simple series of murders. During the course of my investigation, I obtained a supernatural power known as my persona, making me more than just a detective. I collaborated with other persona users. Of course, I was able to tell the police that at the worst case scenario, I would be discredited. Having to leave out those details while explaining the events of the case is more than a little nerve-wracking. On my way to the police department for this new case, I go through a list of possible questions and answers I would need. Oh man, look at that 62-inch TV. It's a shark. Something's different today though. After greeting the receptionist, I'm not led to the usual dull meeting room. Instead, I'm taken to a reception area on the top floor. A leather-trimmed sofa, a curved wooden table. What is that? Novex a rich setting? I can't read that. I'm not sure if that's a N-O-V or N-O-U-V. A Navo. I think that's how you say it. Navo.
Looks like this may take some time.
If this was just going to be paperwork and basic questionnaire, they wouldn't have brought me to this special room. Is this a new case? I have to wait several minutes before someone comes to speak with me. I should have brought my PSP Vita and started playing Persona 4 Golden. When the door finally opens, a man wearing a suit, not fitting the uniform of a local officer, walks in.
I'm sorry about the wait.
Hey, it's that police officer from before. He lends me this card.
Allow me to introduce myself.
This card has a lengthy title: National Police Agency Security Bureau Security Planning Division. Damn. I was shocked. They're more commonly known as the Public Safety Police. Why would a person of this importance come all the way to this rural... I know how to say it, it's just my mouth and my tongue doesn't want to say it. It doesn't want to move to what I need to say. I look him in the eyes, he appears to be measuring me up like I'm some eye
on the ball
candy.
that you don't need a lengthy introduction. Good.
Without any further talk, the man gets to his point.
Have you heard of the Kirijo Group?
I doubt there are many who haven't.
I'll get right to the point. We'd like to hire you to perform a Sub Rosa investigation on them.
Sub Rosa.
You need a corporation quietly investigated. Why me? I don't see what I can do that your own department cannot.
I would agree if shadows and personas weren't involved.
Huh? This time I'm unable to hide my surprise. But the man continues, either failing to see or purposely ignoring my reaction.
One summer 12 years ago, there was an explosion at the Kirijo-owned Tatsumi Port Island, killing over 50 people. You would have been very young at the time.
I've reviewed that case. The official explanation was that a gas main leaked during a construction project. Afterwards, though, a bizarre rumor saw quite a bit of circulation.
The mass media noticed that there was a suspiciously large number of researchers amongst the casualties. They floated the theory that the official explanation was a lie, and that the explosion was really caused by some dubious experiment.
No concrete evidence was ever found to support those claims, though. As I recall, the matter was left unsettled. Some may still remember the incident, though I don't think many could recall the finer points.
Those rumors were all true.
His voice becomes firm.
What?
Those researchers under Koetsu Kirijo, the old Kirijo group manager, were working on harnessing the power of shadows. The experiment went awry, and they lost control of the shadows. That's what caused the explosion.
Experiments using shadows. They lost control? Are you saying the shadows flooded the city? The real world?
I can't speak to that. There was no way of getting hard answers back then. No one took the spooky stories seriously. But that accident got the government and the police's attention. Though they didn't launch an investigation until a year or two ago.
That couldn't be helped. Law can only preside over the world as we know it. Things that can't be explained can't be governed.
Only those in the Kirijo group know exactly what happened and how much of the aftermath was dealt with.
The aftermath.
That word has a bad ring to it. It brings to mind a cover-up of some dark
Their
secret.
cleanup efforts continued until quite recently. They were using some method known only to them, entirely behind our backs. We think they've been conducting illegal activities in the 10 years since then, while hiding behind their cleanup efforts.
And you wish for me to confirm this?
Not only do you have a relationship with us, you have a persona and extensive experience in the field. We can't think of a better candidate.
And since I'm not directly affiliated with the police, if I were to be caught in a trap, it wouldn't lead back to you.
If that's the way you want to put it.
My reply was meant to be sarcastic, but this conversation is exceptionally draining. I must applaud public safety. They know everything about anybody they choose to investigate. There's no point in trying to bargain with them. He continues explaining indifferently as if able to sense my resignation.
Last year, in conjunction with the Kirijo Group, we established an unofficial department in the force, nicknamed the Shadow Operatives. It's a special unit capable of dealing with shadow-related cases.
This is news to my ears. That's a rather bold move. You went so far as to join forces with the ones you suspect of illicit activities?
That's exactly why we did it. We must keep a leash on them by integrating them into the system.
But the police are far behind information-wise. Officially, you are higher on the chain of command, but less so in practice.
I tried throwing out a theory as I began to get a grasp on what's taking place. The man didn't so much as flinch, but he didn't give me much of an answer either.
You'd need some leverage to keep your hold on them. Thus, the secret investigation. What exactly do you want me to do?
We want a little girl to go investigate a TV world. Yeah.
That will depend on your answer.
Fucking assholes, man. So that's their game plan, I figured as much. An organization as big as the Kirijo Group is hiding the secret about shadows. Now, should I take the job or not? As a person with persona abilities, I'm naturally interested in learning knowing more about shadows. And this job could potentially give me leverage over the government in the future. While I'm in deep thought, the man continues as if he can read my mind.
If you think we're hiring you to further our organization, you're mistaken. Our sources say it's possible that they've been talking students from the Kirijo-owned school into doing their dirty work.
Wow, are you kidding me?
They've been pleading ignorance while making ordinary kids clean up whatever messes they've left. And that, we don't forgive. We're supposed to be upholding the law. We can't overlook things like this.
He's surprisingly sincere. He's staring right at me, unlike up until now. His eyes are strong and bold. He truly doesn't want anyone innocent to suffer. But then again, he's trying to get a young girl to pretty much do his work. What the fuck? How does that make any sense? Double standards. Nah. Anyway, all that matters is to find out Kirijo's intentions.
Alright, in that case, I accept. Though I don't plan on abandoning my school life here. I'll do what I can to help, but only within those limits.
I would have never dictated conditions like this before, but the reason I had come to this town and transferred to Yasogami High was all for my investigation. But the school life and the dear friends that I gained through that experience have become irreplaceable to me. I don't even think they said that. I just made that up because I can barely read what's on the text or on the screen because of the glare on my TV. It may sound childish to demand that I stay with my friends, but if they refuse to budge in that regard, that's that. However,
that's fine with us.
He accepts my conditions almost too easily. He then immediately begins to explain the details of the case. I would have asked for like $1 million.
At the end of this month, the Kirijo Group is airlifting some special cargo. Kirijo has asked our help in making sure the cargo is transported safely. We'd like you to accompany them as a police observer.
What do they mean, transported safely?
A police escort, assurance of no public investigation if any unforeseen situation were to arise. Of course, if anything does happen, we will hold them responsible.
And what is this special cargo?
It's something to do with the shadow research. They've admitted that much, but we don't know the exact details. According to our research, it's most likely something from the old ergonomics research laboratory, classified as risk level 4.
Wouldn't it be hilarious at the end of the game, this guy's actually the true culprit?
In other words, even though it's sealed up tight, it's extremely dangerous.
They even have a risk scale for something like this. It seems that Kirijo's research goes into a variety of different things.
Also,
as I'm thinking, the man slides a photograph to me. It's a beautiful young lady. Her eyes show a strong will as striking as her blazing red hair. Her hair reminds me of something. I may have seen her picture while going through the documents regarding the Port Island incident.
This woman will be on that flight. Her name is Mitsuru Kirijo.
She's only 20, man.
Kirijo.
She's the oldest daughter of the Kirijo family, Koetsu Kirijo's granddaughter. It was he who devised the experiments 12 years ago. You should know that she's also a powerful persona user.
I was suspecting something like this, but to hear it out loud is still shocking. So there are persona users other than those of us involved in a case last year.
We believe she took the lead in gathering students 3 years ago when she was still in high school. We'd like you to first go to her residence and meet with her.
She was still in high school.
All right.
I'm sure you figured out by now, since she's a high-ranking Kirijo Group official and a persona user, but she's a shadow operative. She's member number 1, the general manager. And not because she's a Kirijo, but because she has the abilities to back it up. Can you do this? If she's dirty, then this won't be easy for you.
I already accepted your assignment, so I must simply make the best of it.
We already know she's not dirty. Oh, I offer my hand. I can't even see the eye. I can't see the eye. Look at that. The eye is so well Look at that. I know you guys see that. Do you see the eye? Can you see the eyes, guys? No, you can't see the eye. It's too well. It matches the background. He has the firm grip of someone who's worked on the front lines of the law. A few days later, I received a message informing me that the transport is to be on the 1st of May. I haven't heard the details, but I expect to have some important arrangements during the Golden Week. Arrangements to reunite with my upperclassman, Narukami. Who was the leader of our group during last year's incident. I keep thinking about our reunion. It's only been 2 weeks since he left, but it feels much longer. Alright, so this is interesting. Naoto's story is a lot interesting so far than anyone else's story, other than Kanji's and Aiga's. And Akihiko's. I didn't like Mitsuru's all that much. The cargo is due to be transported from a laboratory near the Kirijo mansion. I make my way to the mansion to present myself and end up accompanying the security detail. The limousine is incredibly long. Apparently, it isn't all that rare for the upper class in other countries to ride in cars this large, but it's downright comical on the towny roads of Japan. I like that. That was where I met Mitsuru Kirijo.
Nice to meet you. My name is Naoto Shirogane. I'll be acting as an observer today.
I've been told about you. It's nice meeting you as well. I'm Mitsuru Kirijo.
Her beauty is enough to attract anyone's attention. She was so much less imposing than in the picture.
I didn't expect the police's observer to be so young.
Does that bother you?
No. I didn't mean to downplay your abilities. Forgive me.
I take a look at Kirijo-san's face. She's the only daughter of the founder family, but it's been 2 years since she renounced the practice of the Kirijo group by being run by the family. In other words, she's simply the CEO. She must have used constant stress. She must be used to constant stress, being a female leader at such a young age. I don't need to mince my words in dealing with types like her. I decided to cut to the chase.
Tell me, what are the contents of your cargo?
I'm ashamed to have to admit this, but since the original researchers have passed away, we don't know what's in it either. We can't allow the worst-case scenario for such an item to come to pass in the middle of a city. That's why we plan to transfer these items to a distant facility according to their indicated risk level.
A natural decision. Her posture, her actions, if that was all an act, I must commend her for her ability to deal with the unexpected. But personally, my impression is that she's a trustworthy person. Before leaving, I have a chance to see the Kirijo mansion. At any rate, her intelligence and presence are proof enough for her upbringing.
Then I'll stay near the cargo along with the police escort. I'll contact you immediately if anything happens.
All right. If anything is unclear to you, feel free to ask me.
Alright, so let's go ahead and place that good bookmark. Whew. So yeah, we're good. We're good for another 15 minutes. If it doesn't last longer than 15 minutes, hopefully it doesn't last longer than 15 minutes.